Hey guys, I'm Brian for Pintech. Today we're going to take a look at the Alesis DM10 module. I'm really excited about this module. I actually liked it so well that I purchased one for my own personal use. The drum sounds in the module are great, but what's really cool is Alesis is working with TuneTrack and with BFD to create kits that you can purchase and download into the module. That'll give you the high quality sounds of Superior or Easy Drummer or BFD without having to connect your drums to a computer. What's also pretty neat about the DM10, all of the inputs are dual zone, so you can get rim sounds on not only your snare drum but also on your toms. This module is also set up to do chokeable cymbals, dual zone ride cymbal, or even a 3-zone ride cymbal. Alesis is working real hard to make this one of the top modules on the market. They've done a good job, but they are constantly improving. Since its introduction, they've already released a new firmware update. So if you bought one of the DM10s when they first came out, make sure you go to the Alesis website and download the firmware. It's completely free. It's going to give you a little bit finer tuning for your hi-hat. It also addresses a few of the crosstalk issues, so if you've had some problems with crosstalk, it may solve the issues you're having. Let's go ahead and take a look at the module and get some initial settings. Okay, we're looking at the face of the DM10. The first thing we're going to look at is the R.E.T Protect feature. What this is kind of like a system lock. It prevents unwanted changes from being saved to the module. Because you're making changes yourself that you want to keep, you want to make sure that R.E.T Protect is turned off so that you can save those changes. After you've got everything set up, you're going to want to go through the same process and turn the R.E.T Protect back on so that if anybody else makes changes, it's not going to mess up your module settings. To get to that area, we're going to press Utility, then F4 for System, F3 for Operating System, O/S, then F4 for Memory. Okay, you notice it says the R.E.T Protect is off. I've already got it turned off. After you made your changes, all you have to do is turn the little dial to on, and then just exit out of that, and it's going to protect those features. Okay, I'm going to turn it back off, and the only thing you have to do to get out of this is press the drum kit button at the bottom. It takes us back out. Another thing when you're making adjustments to your triggers, make sure that you push the note chase button. You'll notice that the light is on to indicate that feature's on. What that does is it basically follows you. As you tap the different drums, the module triggers change with you. If you didn't press the note chase, for example, say you're tapping on the snare drum and you're done working on the snare drum, you reach over and you strike the floor tom, for example. If you don't have the note chase feature on and you start making module adjustments, trigger adjustments, you'll still be adjusting the snare drum, thinking that you're doing the tom. So if you'll do that, once you strike the tom, it automatically changes over to that particular drum. Okay, so now what we're going to do is press EXT Trig to get into our trigger settings. Okay, this is our first area. You notice it says up top, hi-hat. We've got our note chase on, so you'll watch as it changes as I strike the different drums. Snare drum, tom 1, 2, 3, and then my ride cymbal. Okay, so that changes as we go through them. Now, we're going to start off, we'll go through the sensitivity of all of our triggers, one by one, and look at those adjustments. Your snare head is at 15. Okay, notice your rim is at 35, function is trigger, and you notice the input type says piezo. Now, depending on what type of pad you're using, that can say piezo or it can say switch. For the Pintech Concert Cast mesh head drums, you want that to say piezo. The switch type would be like the rubber pads, the old SE pads, or even the Roland, say the PD8 pads. The old rubber pads have a different type of triggering system. Okay, so we'll look at tom number 1. Sensitivity is 12. For our rim, it's set at 45. Tom 2, 12. Rim is at 45. Tom 3, it's 15. Rim is at 30. Now, my drums are the acoustic conversions. Drum sizes are 8, 10, and 12. So it corresponds with an 8-inch, a 10-inch, or 12-inch Pintech Concert Cast. My snare is actually a 13-inch, so it's going to be very similar to the 12-inch or the 14 acoustic snare for settings. Kick drum, sensitivity is 40. My hats, set a sensitivity of 30. Now on my ride cymbal, the bow is at 20. Now you'll notice the sensitivity is set at 60 for the bell. Now watch when I strike the edge. This is the 3-zone cymbal. Okay. It's still reading out the bow, but what we're going to look at is the mode. Okay, you'll notice it says on here input type is 3-zone. The ride mode is 3-zone. You can select either a 2-zone or a 3-zone. In our case, we are using a 3-zone ride. So that means what it says on here, it says this will require using percussion 1 input. Okay, so the way you hook up a 3-zone ride cymbal, the standard ride goes in the ride input, and then the edge of the 3-zone will actually plug into percussion 1. Okay, so we're going to exit out of that. Okay, it says percussion 1 not available when it's set to the 3-zone ride cymbal. But you're still, notice you're still getting your edge sound. 3 very distinct sounds. And last but not least is our crash cymbal. We have the sensitivity set at 15 for my crash cymbals.